Very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286. Patricia and David. And believe it or not, despite the weather conditions, there are about a dozen boats have departed from our fair shores today. It has been a really snotty day here, and it still is. We're currently 17 degrees, 10 knots from the west-southwest, but that's in our rather protected bay here. I'll tell you what Scoots, who are on their way almost to Kaua Island, have got in a minute. The bar is 1009, roaring up, and 100% cloud cover with the occasional squall. So, yeah, you would think if it's going to be like this, you might as well leave the country. Scoots did, I'm going to call them in a minute, but just to tell you, half an hour ago they left from Auckland and they were getting southwest 25 to 30, gusting 40. They had the staysail and two reefs in the main and ripping along at 9 knots. So the good thing about leaving today is that it surely couldn't get much worse, and the boats have all got good speed on. So I'm going to see if I can raise Scoots at the moment. 3 of them on board. I'm sure that they're finding their sea legs now, but let's see if they're on air. Scoots, Gulf Harbour Radio. Oh, well, that's a really good copy, and even on the home antenna, which is not surprising, given that you're not that far up the road. And I presume you see Invictus beside you, and Papillon is right at the top of Great Barrier at the moment. So anything to add to your report? Well, give me your position so that it's all accurate for the records. Over.
Yeah, hi, Patricia David. Our position south 36 degrees 20 minutes, east 175 degrees 06, and yeah, we're still got the same wind conditions, bearing along at 9 knots. We're all well on board. We had a bit of a delayed start. When we arrived at the customs dock, our masthead wind instruments decided to die. So Carol did an amazing job and scurried out to marine dealers and raced that road not once but twice, and got us past and did a few visits up the top of the mast, and we got away a few hours later. Over.
Oh my goodness! In this sort of weather too. Was it a bit more sheltered down there, or was it? Well, I suppose it could have been a bit more sheltered, but well done to you, Graham and Kristen, and good old Carol for being there to do the necessary fetch and carry. Well, that was an interesting start. Over.
Yeah, no, happy that it happened then and not a couple of days up the track. So, yeah, no, it was quite sheltered in there in the customs dock, so got it all sorted, and yeah, we'll have to be putting the speeds on and heading north, over.
Yep, and the radio is working perfectly at the moment, so that's good. Well, I won't bother passing the microphone because you'll know the sort of weather that's ahead of you for a day or so. So we'll call you again tomorrow evening, and have a good night, you guys. Boy, you're certainly getting a good fast start. Over.
Yeah, no, we expected it, and the boat's down there well, and crew's all well, and just had the lovely dinner, and all good.
All right, well, thanks for that, and I shall clear with you and see if Sahula is on frequency.
Gulf Harbour Radio. This is Sahula. Radio, not asleep like I was yesterday. Over.
Yeah, we did call you a few times because David had got quite a bit of weather, but you've got reasonable winds, so very nice copy tonight, Lynn. Go ahead.
Yes, we're at south 2418, east 164.02. Our course is 245 degree magnetic. We're moving at about 4.2 knots in an 8 knot breeze, adjusting all the way up to 10 knots. From the almost due south. Got a pretty big swell. 2.5 meter high leftover swell on the beam, but the sea is absolutely spiked. And the cloud cover, about 25% cloud cover, and all is well. Just a little bit more interchangeable weather, but let's hope we have a few days of trade wind sailing. I promised David we'd have some trade wind sailing. Over.
Yeah, well, David here was thinking that you would be getting east, then southeast for tomorrow and the next day. So we'll see what happens. But Sahula on their way to Bundaberg is at south 2418, east 16402 on a course of 245 magnetic, 4.2 knots and 8 to 10 knots of southerly. That was not as much. I thought he said we were talking yesterday and that you were going to be getting 10 to 15, but not true. 25% cloud cover, but at least it's pleasant conditions. So I'll just see if he's got anything to add to that. Stand by, Lynn.
Well, hello there, Lynn. Yeah, we missed you yesterday. I had quite a bit of information, but anyway, that's the way it goes. Looking at tomorrow, moving you along here, the winds to me look easterly, about 15, 16, 17 knots. So it looks like a pretty good direction for you on the way to Bundaberg. Don't see any issues at this point. If you already said this, say it again. What's your ETA?
I've got that, thank you.
Trish has it, but just for me right now, I'm going to ask. I can't work out where it is. It was in
the, I had 267, late Tuesday, ETA Tuesday.
ETA Tuesday is what we have. Oh, yes. That is what I talked about yesterday. Now it's coming back to me as I'm looking at the various models. Unfortunately, the wind is not in a good direction on Tuesday, coming out of the west. So I guess we'll call that a headwind and see if Monday is any better. Monday is pretty good. There's a pretty rapid shift in wind direction. So if there's any way you can get in on Monday, maybe put the paddle in the water or something like that, that would be good. From what I see is a polar dip in the high, which is right around the Bundaberg area. And I believe I mentioned that yesterday. And so that polar dip is going to cause the winds to do quite a bit of changing. They'll go from basically north, they'll go from what you've got now to northeast, and then after that is done, they turn to the west. Yeah, it looks like westerly. So what happens is a small low develops to the south, and that happens fairly rapidly thanks to that polar dip. And so because of that, your winds change. So anyway, try to get there a little bit earlier, I guess, from what it seems like at this point. Over.
Thank you, David. We'll keep the pedal to the metal. Keep her as fast as we can. Because I'm ready to begin. Clean the load up. Enjoy our Australian friends. So thank you for your information. Thank you very much.
Roger that, and we'll talk again in the morning. But yeah, if you could get a bit more wind there, it would be useful, wouldn't it, to get the speed up. So anyway, we'll see how you go. All right, we'll clear with Sahula. And is there anybody else wanting to join us this evening? Please call. Soy Libre, Andy, and your radio has not improved since the last time we talked. I'm going to just try, because you just left today by the look of it, I will just turn up the antenna here. That might be a bit better. Go ahead, Andy, over.
I just got a new ICOM 730 and a new tuner too. Oh.
Well, don't worry, because I had the wrong antenna on you, so you're booming into my home antenna, as was Scoot's. So go ahead. It's a very sporty time to leave. Give me the position and conditions, and nice to talk to you again. Over.
Nice to talk to you guys too. I am going to Minerva this morning, and I'm on a course of about 30 degrees true speed and doing about 6.5 knots. The wind is about 18 knots out here with gusts coming out of the southwest at the east. And the waves are more off. This seems to probably a little bit more from the first time. So,
Okay, we have. Oh, I forgot to ask. Are you still single-handing? Over.
oh yeah.
Roger that. We have Soy Libra Andy heading from Marsden to Minerva. Just getting all this down. Currently at 35 degrees 29 south. Don't worry about the decimals. 174 degrees 54 east. And the wind is 18 knots from the south-southwest. Yes, I did notice, and that will be of interest to the Scoots folk, that the further north you get, the wind is not as strong as it was down here, or if you believe GFS anyway, but we'll wait and hear what David's got to say. Heading to Minerva. So a little bit sporty at the moment, but a good speed. What is your caution speed at the moment, Andy? Over.
31 degrees true and about 6.5 knots.
That's ETA for Minerva.
And do you have an ETA for Minerva?
Well, I'm hoping it's by next Thursday.
Okay. Gosh, good radio. But what a difference the different antenna is, but you're too close to the Kaio one, which is the usual one I use when people are further away. All right, well, David will have a lot to say, so listen up shortly, and I'll pass the microphones. Have a good trip, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow night. Over. Okay, before I pass the microphone, is there anybody else to join us? Okay, nothing heard. I shall pass the microphone.
Okay, good evening to our listeners tonight on a grim weather day here at Gulf Harbor. So we've got a very strong southwest flow, 25 knots plus, as we've heard from a few of the yachts calling in this afternoon, this evening. So that affects us today and tomorrow with, there's some heavy southwest swells out there as well. Now the winds do ease somewhat by Sunday, and on Monday we have a high pressure ridge moves over the North Island, but that weakens on Tuesday as a west to northwest flow prevails over the North Island. By Wednesday, a low moves onto southern New Zealand while a frontal band moves over the North Island. So for those yachts that are planning to depart for the islands, except for those that have already left, the wind Saturday looked like southwest 20 knots plus, and the same on Sunday, but easing to maybe 10, 12 knots in the evening, and that goes into Monday. However, I see a wind shift on Tuesday. Not a particularly good direction, though. I would expect northerlies about 25 knots with fairly rough seas. Now, these winds are a prelude to another frontal band that runs from North Cape to New Caledonia on Wednesday. So that's Wednesday, a front, North Cape to New Caledonia. So for those who left and made it to 30 south on Wednesday, and again, I'm just guessing who that would be. Anyway, unpleasant winds are expected, northerlies 20 to 28 knots. So that's 30 south on Wednesday. Now this front continues to rotate, and it will bisect the rum line, Fiji. I just happened to pick that particular destination, so it'll bisect the rum line to Fiji by Thursday the 5th at 20 south and 177 east, give or take that. Now on Saturday the 7th, the new Tasman high is going to drive very strong southerly quadrant winds all the way all the way up to Fiji. So let's take a look at that. And 7th, yeah. So that doesn't look too bad on the 7th. And again on the 8th, that's Sunday. So that looks pretty good too. So anyway, we will see how this passage goes. The models, as they have been, are changing almost daily. So we'll have to see how things go. A lot of boats have left, looking at the AIS. So
About a dozen.
About a dozen, says Patricia. So anyway, all well at this point. So here's the chief.
Okay, thank you for that. And, well, it is hope that things calm down a bit with looking at models and having them agree a bit more. This is Gulf Harbour Radio. Is there anybody else out there? Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
This is a new rig. New tuner, new rig. And I'm just wondering what my clarity and everything else is.
Oh, it's excellent, actually. On this particular antenna, if you were coming through from the other one, I would be able to give you a good read up, but it's very clear, nice audio, actually, and it will be interesting when you get a bit further away. What power are you running at the moment? Yeah, I didn't copy that. The trouble with giving a report on my radio, being in an urban area, I have a lot of noise on it, so it's not as good to give a signal report as the other one. But say again, the power, over. Oh, okay. Well, that's an unusual one because they used to work in 25, 50, 150. Okay, oh, that's interesting. All right, no, it's sounding good. So, when you get there, you'll be able to listen in on the streaming to see what you sound like. But no, I'm hoping that it will stay pretty good. So that's, well worth it. I presume you've got the usual copper ground plane going through the boat, is that correct?
Well, no, right side to the entrance doorway.
What did you say?
I'm sorry.
Well, having said that you were clear as a bell, I couldn't work that one out at all. Just try that again.
My ground is tied to the engine through hole.
Oh, okay. So you've got a plate on the other side and just connected to the engine. Okay. Oh well, it's coming through well, but of course you're really close to me at the moment. So in terms of strength, I just wonder if you just hold the microphone a little bit further away from your mouth, that might sharpen it up a little bit. But apart from that, sounds good. But we'll continue to make note of it as you go on. Cheers, Andy. Have a good, safe night. Okay, folks, there is nothing else from here, and we will be back again tomorrow night. It's the long weekend here, of course. King's birthday weekend. It's hard to say the word king rather than queen after so long, but everyone is having a 3-day weekend again. The last one before Labor Day, at the end of the season. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Cheers all.